Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Gul Knowledge Hub. In today's video, the topic is how to think in English. Of course, everyone says that thinking in English is mandatory, it is important, it is essential. The more you can think in English, the better would be your speaking ability. Totally agree. But before discussing the solution and how you can inculcate this habit in yourself, let's discuss the scenario. The scenario is that, for example, if you haven't visited a park, if you haven't seen the picture of the park on any platform, and you didn't know what is park, so if you haven't visited the park, if you haven't seen the picture of that park, and I just ask you, let's discuss and let's talk about the benefits of park. So will you be able to just narrate what is park and what is the importance of park, what is the utility of park, and what are the things that are in the park? The same thing happens if I ask about the desert and you haven't just visited the desert and you just have not seen the desert on the picture or on Google or on any platform. So you are blank, and I am saying you just compare the desert with the ocean. Now my question is, are you in the position to discuss the desert or the park, or to have a comparison between the ocean and the desert? Certainly your action, your answer would be no, a big no. Because your brain has no idea what is desert, what is park. The same thing, the exact same thing happens with your English language. If you haven't feed your brain enough with listening, with reading, with writing, with speaking, how can you think in English, my dear English learners? You have to understand this first thing. If you are a basic or if you are a beginner, then your whole focus, your whole concentration should be on accumulating the vocabulary, on identifying the items, daily used items, because the word is repeated with the names, the nouns. You have to accumulate just the vocabulary words. After all, vocabulary words are the building blocks to convey your thoughts and idea and information. The next thing you should do is to search the ways how to connect these vocabulary words, because essentially these vocabulary words should be connected with some kind of basic grammar. It means your next target should be to observe and to absorb. Observe and to absorb the basic vocabulary. 3 tenses, present indefinite, past indefinite, and future indefinite, is essential to communicate the idea. Now you are done with this thing, and if you can understand what the other speaker or what the other person is saying, my dear English learner, you are above upper beginner level. Now it's the time to think in English, but thinking in English, you have to do and you have to take the right kind of input, because right kind of input means right kind of output. Whatever you are feeding your brain will reproduce the same thing. So here question arises here is that how to identify the right kind of input, because there are many things out there on internet, on you can say on YouTube, in English language, and even the intermediate level learner is just confused because of the plethora of content available on internet. So you just have to identify your interest. First, identify your interest. I am not specifying that you should observe and you should watch only the movies, you should listen the music, because some persons are lover of listening the music. They can go for music, because music is the best thing to inculcate and to learn the rhythm of a language. So if you are a lover of reading books, go for reading books. If you just listen and you enjoy listening, just go for listening. You can listen the podcast, the motivational videos, whatever comes on your way. Just observe and listen and feed your brain. Till the time, then your brain will actually start thinking in English. It's the process. It's the process, and you have to take step by step process, because you have to do your level best, and you are just asking how to think in English and just watching the movies how to think in English. The tips and tricks to think in English will not satisfy, will not trigger your brain to actually think in English. If you are really a passionate, devoted learner, then you just have to just give your brain a proper environment. In that environment, your brain just like a sponge will absorb each and everything till the time it is repleted, it is full with the content, and it will reproduce the content in the form of thinking, in the form of speaking. So it's the gradual process. By saying or by just listening, by just watching the videos, how to think in English will be a question, how to think in English. Till the time you just take the initiate or the further steps, and you have to just what you are supposed to do. You just have to read whatever comes on your way. You have to just listen whatever you want to listen. You have to watch whatever you want to watch, and you have to write whatever you want to write. So these four aspects are crucial for your brain, because without this you will not, because you are not getting the environment. And in my case, truly speaking, I was not given the environment. I wasn't having that environment of English language, because all around me were the speakers who were speaking in my mother tongue, in my regional language, that was Punjabi, on a large scale. I was the only devoted person to learn this language. So for me, the only option to learn this language was through the medium of grammar. Yes, my dear audience, you have heard me right. I have learned this language through the medium of grammar, because grammar was at my disposal. Grammar was at my hand in the form of grammar book only. I was given the grammar book by my school because it was in my syllabus. So the only means, the only medium, the only environment which I have at that time was a grammar book. So I utilized all my energies, I utilized all my powers to learn those grammatical rules. But the most important thing was that I was applying all those grammatical rules through my speaking powers. Because after learning the grammatical rules, there were different kind of exercises. For example, if I have learned present indefinite tense, there would be the present definite exercise. And I used to translate from Urdu to English, and after narrating it, after implementing, because implementation is quite essential, is quite mandatory. If you are listening a lot of things but you are not implementing, it means you are just sitting on the same place. Because listening, taking input is not sufficient. You have to take concrete steps, concrete measures. So in my case, I learned the grammatical rules, then I translated the you can say the exercises given below in those grammatical exercises, you can say. And after those exercises, I was in the habit of formulating, structuring, framing the sentences of those exercises I have recently in my own words. I used to narrate my own feelings, my own emotions regarding different things, but using the same grammatical rule which I have recently learned. That was the method through which I used to just Sometimes I didn't speak through my mouth. I was just rehearsing. It was thinking in English process. I used to narrate all those things utilizing those grammatical rules which I have recently learnt. So that was the basic thing. That was the basic idea. The basic idea is do your struggle till the appropriate time, because we are not seeking for an appropriate time. We are quite impatient kind of generation nowadays, because we want quick results, magical results, like taking a pill and you are fluent, watching the video and you are fluent, reading a book and you are fluent, just watching and listening a podcast and you seem that you have to be a fluent English speaker. Certainly it is not going to happen, my dear audience. To be very frank, first you have to do this effort for a certain period of time, and it varies from person to person. It varies from the person's capability to other person's capability and ability. So what you are supposed to do, you are supposed to do your effort and let your brain figure out the ways to think, because after all it's your subconscious, it's your brain. You are not seeing the visible improvement, but my dear friends, my dear English learners, there will be that time when your brain will give you the answer in the form of yes, now I am prepared. You have to wait, you have to strive, you have to struggle, you have to do your effort in the form of reading, writing, listening, speaking, each and everything. Try your level best, and give your brain the time when it will say it's a green signal. I am ready, green signal, because at this time you are at red signal. Your brain says stop doing, stop struggling, stop doing your efforts, stop reading, stop listening in a foreign language. You can't do this, because our brain is functioned to be in a comfort zone. You just have to break the bubble of your comfort zone, and only then you will think, you will speak, you will be a confident and fluent English speaker. So if you like the video, kindly share and subscribe the channel and hit that bell icon, because it motivates me to make much more informative videos for you guys. Till the next video, stay happy, stay blessed. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.